I can't believe y'all showed back up today, but since you're here, let's have a little shop talk. We'll create some exquisite little sculptures and stuff next time, but today we're going to do some shop talk. Now, if you haven't had the great pleasure of having an old chainsaw that was just a pain in the rear to start, and you're cranking your arms off, then you're missing out on one of the miseries of life, actually. Now, your old grandparents, they knew how to deal with an engine like this. Take their old vehicles. They hardly ever had a decent battery. They hardly ever had a decent starter on the things, but they found ways around that, such as parking on the hill. When they got ready to go, they would go get in it, roll down the hill, engage the clutch, and boom, off they go. They figured things out. Now you say, what has a grandpa's vehicle got to do with starting my chainsaw? Well, you see, old grandpa, he found ways around this. When he had trouble with his old engine, he got one of his friends come over, and they hooked a tow rope onto the old truck, and the friend pulled him down the road and got going. You know, you don't have to reach a speed of 5-10 miles an hour. He popped the old clutch, it turns the engine over, and boom, off we go. Grandpa's good to go to town again. But you see, it applies, same principle applies to the chainsaw. It's just the only difference is we have to reach a higher speed to get the clutch on the chainsaw to turn over the engine. Probably 45 to 50 miles an hour. Now, how in the world are we going to do that? Well, you sure can't pull it 45 to 50 miles an hour. Well, come over here and we'll show you what I'm talking about. I have developed a foolproof method that works every time. Now, contrary to popular belief, throwing swear words and violent emotions at the chainsaw will not start it. Now, your grandpa, he kind of had a belief that would help, but there's been no scientific proof that ever actually worked. Here I am about to demonstrate the method of getting your clutch to going 45 to 50 miles an hour so that it will engage that engine and turn it over and start the chainsaw. Now, I'm using my ATV here with a rope, approximately, 25, 30 feet of rope. And I'm going to pull the chainsaw 45 to 50 miles an hour. It will then engage your clutch, fire it right up. No more of this crank, crank, crank all day until you wear your arms and shoulders out. Now, you don't have to have an ATV. That's the big kicker. You can use your old vehicle. These modern-day vehicles, they usually start. They ain't like Grandpa's. But here's the thing about the vehicle. We need a great, big, long straightaway on the vehicles, on your modern-day vehicles, to reach that 45, 50 mile an hour. And when you come down the road, dragging a chainsaw going 45, 50 mile an hour behind you, it tends to scare people. So ATV does work better. But enough of the talk. Let's just demonstrate the procedure here. Now, a lot of folks are saying, wait a minute, is this dangerous? Well, I tell you what I did. I ran this idea past a select committee of chainsaw carvers scattered throughout the U.S., and they came to the conclusion that we only had like a 92, 93% chance of death in employing this method. And for a chainsaw carver, that sounds okay. So without further ado, let's get to it. Now, there is another application for this here method. It doesn't have to be an old wore-out, hard-starting chainsaw. It can be a big old saw like a Steel 881. Just the other day on YouTube, I was watching old Chainsaw Jenna demonstrating to these young testosterone-type dudes how to start her 881. All these testosterone-type dudes, they're just chiming in, giving all kinds of advice in the comment section down there. But here's the difference. They don't have the vast array of expertise and knowledge like I have. You see, back before I became an impersonator of chainsaw carvers, back in the former days, I was an impersonator of chainsaw mechanics. And so they ain't got just the know-how that I have. So let me demonstrate it. This can be used on an old wore-out saw or a great big old saw for little, not so hokey type physiques. All right, without further ado, let's get to it. We probably should have prayed before we did this. If that thing happens to hit an obstacle, pulls tension and pops loose and hits me in the back of the head, do we still have one of my old helmets? Oh well, chainsaw carvers have never been safety wise in their life. In fact, they've never been wise about anything. Let's get to it and shut up. like a charm. Now, being as chainsaw carvers are really prone to squandering money, we're in dire need of donations. If you would please send a cash donation. Remember, I don't take checks from chainsaw carvers, but if you would send a cash donation over to the psychiatric unit of our local Presbyterian hospital, my caretakers will dole it out to me as needed, and I can produce more of these videos. Until then, see you next time on The Chaotic Life of a Chainsaw Carver. See you then, bye.